Proceed.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate the invite to be here today. Sorry we couldn't be there in person, but hopefully we can go through some slides and discuss things from afar and accomplish the same thing here. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Lucas Vold. I'm the Forester Engagement Manager with NCX. I currently reside in Marquette, Michigan, right on the South Shore of Lake Superior. So quite a bit different geography and climate from where you guys are at. But today I'm here to go through our company, Natural Capital Exchange, talk about who we are as an organization, go through our Natural Capital Exchange program and how it's been designed to really work with landowners and foresters and put them at the heart of our conversation and organization. Little overview of the agenda that I've laid out here today. First of all, we'll talk about what makes us unique as a company, how our program works, what it takes to be eligible to enroll in the NCX program, and then walk you through some of the processes that are required to be enrolled. And then if we have some time, I'll go through some FAQs as well, but I think we probably wait until the panel discussion to talk about a lot of those questions. So first of all, what makes NCX unique? We're designed with landowners at the forefront of the conversation. We're structured and focused on eliminating the common barriers found with traditional forest carbon programs for landowners. And we do that by allowing participation at no cost with no minimum acreage, and doing so on an annual contract term for harvest deferral. Just a few numbers, talk about what happened here over about the last year. We've got quite a few acres enrolled and quite a few landowners involved in our system. In total here, I think those numbers are a little out of date. We've got close to 4,000 landowners actively participating at this time. We operate our program on a quarterly enrollment cycle. So we accept people into the program each quarter and subsequently pay people out each quarter after their 1-year harvest deferral is completed. So how we operate, and really the basis of our program is to connect net zero pioneers, which have been discussed in a lot of the other talks today, these corporations and companies that want to offset some of their emissions. We connect those folks with landowners of all sizes around the lower 48 to try and sequester more carbon on the landscape and mitigate some of those negative climate impacts from carbon emissions. And one term we're really big on using is democratizing access. And what that means is we're trying to open up forest carbon markets to all size landowners. So the basis of our program depends on our product that we call BaseMap, which was built by our parent company, Sylvia Terra, over almost a decade. And what it is a mapping program that we use that combines high resolution air photos, FIA data, cruise data, and a number of other metrics to allow us to measure trees, size and species of trees on every acre by an acre by acre basis. So in a nutshell, the NCX program pays landowners for a 1-year timber harvest deferral, because delaying harvest by even a small time frame adds additional carbon storage on the landscape. And by doing that, we can offer that additional carbon storage for sale to buyers in the form of credits. Another really important part of our program and process is the concept of ton-year accounting. And the reason we can offer saleable carbon for under a 1-year contract from landowners hinges directly upon this concept, which was developed by the IPCC, and says that if you sequester a large amount of carbon for 1 year, you can have a similar climate impact as sequestering a small amount of carbon for 100 years. That's really the basis of our models and of our calculations. So we'll get into what it takes to participate in our program. In order to be eligible, an individual must be the legal owner or a designated manager of a property. Participants must enroll their entire ownership, and this applies to single ownerships, family ownerships, companies, LLCs, etc. Anything under one ownership name needs to be enrolled as one enrollment. And the purpose of that is to prevent activity shifting leakage between different ownerships or different tracts of properties under the same name. So another interesting caveat to our program is that although you're required to enroll your entire ownership, you're not required to defer all the harvesting on that ownership. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we go through here. And the third requirement is that a seller has to acknowledge that they would potentially entertain a harvest offer in the next 12 months if it was brought to them. And that's how we really prove the additionality concept within our system. It's also one of the hardest things to wrap your head around and to really prove. So within our program, we are structured around 5 key milestones. First, the landowner enrolls their acres and requests an assessment from us. We run an assessment through our models and give the landowner an eligibility report back, which shows them the potential maximum amount of carbon that they could sell. The buyer then determines how much carbon and at what price they would like to sell it at. And then they submit that as an offer, and we match those offers from sellers with bids from buyers on a first come, first served basis. So on a weekly basis, we're matching sellers and buyers together and executing sellers agreements in our contractual language. After a landowner is signed up and has an accepted bid, they're enrolled into our system and under our officially into the program when the next quarterly enrollment date comes around. And then they are required to defer their harvest for 1 calendar year, or 1 12-month period. After that 12-month period, we do a reassessment of their property via remote sensing and a fair amount of check cruising to ensure that the carbon that was promised was actually delivered in an accurate way. So again, signing up, it's quite simple. All we require is that you make an account with us on our online platform. You're asked to provide general information about the landowner and the property, and then identify the property boundaries for the entire ownership. And we've got a GIS portion of our platform that allows you to select the parcels that you own. You can either do that, you can draw shapes around them, or you can upload a shape file. And then you just have to acknowledge a series of questions and then submit your property for assessment. Once the property is submitted and an eligibility report comes back, the landowner has the ability to determine what their offer is going to be. And to do that, we make available average pricing data over the last 3 and 6 months to give landowners an idea of where they might fall within that range of payments or what's possible. They then state the number of credits they'd like to sell and at what price. So then once the offer is submitted, it goes into the queue. And we then on a weekly cadence match those offers with buyer bids and notify enrollees every Friday if they've been matched. And if they have not been matched, then they'll retain their place in line and be eligible for the next week's matching event. If no match has been made between a seller and a buyer before the next quarterly performance period begins, then the landowner needs to re-enroll, request another eligibility report, and can keep on moving through the system or adjust their bid accordingly. So rather than just hearing from us, we've got a couple of video snippets in here. This is Keith McDaniel, a Mississippi landowner who participated in our our spring 2021 help cycle. I'll just play that clip really quick.
Can you hear that, Lucas? Because we cannot hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay.
That's correct.
Can you guys hear it now?
No.
I can. What's that?
No, we cannot hear it.
Okay, well, I'll just skip over that. It's he's just explaining how economics play into his decision making to enroll in NCX by thinking about how much the timber would be worth at the time and how much it would be worth after a year of deferral. This is a picture here of our enrollment platform. In this particular case, the landowner owned both of these parcels and selected those as his property to enroll. And we've got nationwide parcel data in there, so it's pretty easy to locate and find the particular parcels that you need to include. So our mission as a company is really to be able to measure our natural resources accurately enough to assign value to them and help forest landowners realize that value and be able to sell the services that those properties provide. Right now, we're only in the harvest deferral carbon program realm of things. In the near future, we may expand into other parts or other facets of natural capital, such as biodiversity, fire risk reduction, water quality, and afforestation as well. We're a relatively new company. We've been under the NCX name now for about a year and a half. So constantly developing and changing and evolving into different avenues. So just a few tidbits of information here. If you're interested in participating, you can request a free assessment with no commitment. You can also contact us anytime at the generallandowners@ncx.com email. Our next cycle is coming up here in early fall. We're currently accepting applications and we'll begin running eligibility reports here in the next few weeks for that cycle. And then you can see the key dates there for the cycle beginning and ending and performance period. So that was pretty quick and brief. Here's my information. As I said before, our our overall mission is to democratize access and allow landowners of any size to get into the carbon markets and to realize that there is value there beyond traditional forest products, and be able to have the flexibility to, you know, harvest if they need to or enroll in our program if they'd like to. So.
Thank you, Lucas.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
that
you.